don't you see? You just die a slower death, drink by drink.
I know. Maybe I deserve judgment. Until that day, I'll just be Dyson the drunk, not Dyson the murderer.
I want you to remember the bomb, Dyson. Tell me about it.
No. I don't want to remember it.
Why use a bomb? What?
The door...
The Vic...
I spent...
Surely you must... Goodbye.
Die, vermin! Kill it all you deserve! Filthy piece of shit! Over there! There's one of them vermin! One of them? This was mine! Leech is fast! I'll kill it! Are you dead?
Shit, that leech is fast!
Simpletons, these nurses.
Hello again, Dr. Reed. I feel better already.
Goodbye.
Hello again.
Someone's poached my blanket.
Goodbye, mister.
Cold will bring death.
Good evening, Dr. Ackroyd. I see that you are...
Are you really going to ask me why? That...
Do you need my assistance?
Don't be ridiculous. I'm capable of dealing with this myself. I've just not taken the time to do so.
Then you are lucky that I have taken the time to do so. Consider it a gesture of solidarity between professionals.
I wish this hospital could have received as much attention from you, Dr. Reed. We do not see you in surgery very often.
How do you think these recent events will affect the Pembroke Hospital?
I am not blind. There is something strange about you and Dr. Swansea. One day you'll have to provide answers.
You are troubled by the death of your patient. I understand. It is something that haunts everybody in our profession.
Harvey Fiddick died inside these walls, under our watch. We failed him, all of us.
Don't you think the epidemic is enough to deal with, without wasting time on insults and suspicions?
Yes, the epidemic. Convenient, isn't it? Just like the war, really. Hundreds are already dying, so who cares about one more?
Do you need my assistance?
Not at all.
Thank you for your... Good evening, Dr. Strickland.
Have you seen any suspicious activity in the vicinity, Dr. Reed?
No more than usual.
This is no laughing matter, Dr. Reed. A patient of mine has been murdered. Mr. Fiddick is dead. I should have been more cautious.
Did you know Dr. Ackroyd never reported your experimental research, despite the fact he doesn't agree with it?
Really? I didn't suspect he knew about my work. I must confess I am surprised.
Perhaps he thinks you should realize for yourself the danger of what you're doing.
See how condescending he can be? My God, he can be so irritating.
Why are you blaming yourself?
It is our fault. Mr. Fiddick has stayed longer than needed here because Dr. Ackroyd and I could not agree on the correct treatment.
This argument has nothing to do with his death. He was murdered.
But if we had performed the surgery sooner, he would have left the hospital and avoided this fate.
What is troubling you so much, Dr. Strickland?
I had to meet face to face with the son and daughter of Mr. Fiddick this afternoon. Their eyes. I could barely stand before their accusing gaze.
This difficult task is part of our job, Dr. Strickland. It's our responsibility.
I know. As I also know they'll never get the answer to the question they daren't ask. They were the embodiment of cold fatalism.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
I'm all right. Don't waste your time with me.
Good evening.
If you...
Thank you.
Good evening, Doctor.
Do you require medical attention?
Do you know you're the only one who's asked me this? No.
Despite what you think about this place, I can tell you with absolute certainty, taking this will help you recover.
Well, at least your reputation seems well deserved. Unfortunately, I can't say the same for this hospital.
I've read your son's medical report, Beatrice. It's not the flu or anything life-threatening. What has you so worried?
He was at death's door when he was brought here. I just want him to be better as soon as possible.
He's not out of the woods yet, you know. He might need to stay here longer than expected.
Take care of him then, Dr. Reed. People here only seem to focus on contagious patients. I worry my poor Mortimer will be neglected.
Goodbye, Mr.
Doctor.
I'm so tired.
Good evening, Mr. Goswick. How are you?
I'm okay.
Do you need any...
I'm afraid.
You are not a...
And you have...
Your medical report says you're not affected by the Spanish flu. What do you think of that, Mortimer?
Does it make me happy? Not in the slightest. If it was up to me, I would have left this place long ago. I know I don't belong here.
And why do you think you don't belong here?
I know the staff have more important things to do than look after me. There's plenty of patients here who need their attention.
I have to go.
I'm all right. Don't waste your time with me.
A giant morgue
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening.
Goodbye. Good evening.
Good evening.
Do you need any medical...
I'm afraid... I see.
Goodbye. Good evening.
Dr. Reed. Hey!
Am I right to assume your wife's letter pissed you off, Clay?
I was so mad, I threw away the knife she got me when we got married.
Your wife gave you a knife as a wedding present.
That knife has always been my lucky charm. If I'd had it in my hand when I got stabbed on that pier, I'd not have been wounded.
A lucky charm? I never would have taken you.
We all have our flaws, Doc. Mine's to have my weapon of choice for when the really dirty business comes around.
What can you tell me about your marriage, Clay?
Marriage is the sweetest cage, they say. Well, I found myself locked in one with a wild animal.
You mean your wife keeps you on your toes?
No, I mean, we both have claws and we both love to bite.
You're lucky to be alive, Mr. Cox.
This place...
Consider...
Don't play the...
I'll leave you for now.
When I get back, I'll have a word with Tom. He's really pissed me off this time.
Good evening, Doctor. Good evening.
Good evening.
Do you require...
I'll try...
Goodbye. Good evening, Dr. Tibbets.
Dr. Reed.
Goodbye, Doc. Good evening.
Dr. Reed.
Goodbye, Doc.
Jonathan?
I thought it would be more unsufferable.
I'm here for you, Jonathan. If you ever need to talk.
How do you live with the guilt?
I can't answer that, Jonathan. But we have to accept our nature. Nothing good can come of fighting who we are.
Have you ever killed family?
I will not answer that. In time, perhaps.
Have you killed someone you've known?
Jonathan, have you forgotten what I do here? I need to meet the men and women I
Could I ask you?
Ask, and...
Where...
I have a house in London, where I reside with my daughter.
A daughter? Is she,
No. Charlotte is a perfectly normal young lady. And if you must know, I adopted. Perhaps you'll meet her someday.
There's so much I want to know. I mean, what? Where? Who?
Slow down, Jonathan. And please, not all questions should be answered.
Please tell me. Are you Lady Ashbury? Is that your real name?
Yes and no. I was born Elizabeth Samantha Mary Englewood. Out of pure vanity, I cannot tell you when I was born.
Tell me, why do you finance this hospital?
I'm lucky to be in a privileged position.
If you'll forgive me, it's...
Jonathan.
And our Dr. Swansea? He's fine with this culling of patients.
Dr. Swansea is a man firmly rooted in the realities of the modern world. He understands what we're trying to achieve here.
I'll see you later. Good evening. Do you need the proc? Don't end. Goodbye. I have this thirst for blood. This is despicable.
Place your stupid beast! Piece of shit! We cannot leave you! Watch it! He's a killer!
Yes? What is it that you want?
I'm sorry to disturb you at such a late hour.
No worries, my son. I'm still quite awake, having just returned from a funeral.
Yes, I know. I've forgotten what I wanted. I don't know.
May I help you, child? You seem somewhat perturbed.
I haven't the strength to cross the threshold. I wish to pray, to cleanse my soul.
The church is shut by order of the bishop. But I'm still the vicar of St. Mary's, if that is any use to you, my son.
You seem to me a good soul, Vicar. But this is a personal matter.
There are no secrets from God, my son. If your heart needs comfort, consider me your chapel. For I can be as silent as stone.
I've words for one departed. They're not for living ears to hear.
Your eyes burn with rage, yet I see the pain that lies beyond. I am here to lighten the burden of all God's creatures. Whatever you tell me is between us and the Lord.
Very well, priest. As you seem quite adamant.
Open your heart, my son. Tell me what burdens you. With whom do you wish to speak?
Just know, I cared for her.
You seem so troubled by the loss of this girl. What happened to her?
She was murdered.
I see. And how are you feeling, my son?
I feel responsible. The pain is consuming me.
I have a final question for you, my son. This is of the utmost importance.
Ask your question, Vicar.
What would you like her to know?
I killed you. There's no excuse. My dear Mary, forgive me.
You have been heard, my son, and your burden will lighten if your words are sincere. Go in peace now, and live your life in the way she would have wanted.
Whatever happened on this dock is between my sister and I. It does not concern God at all. Good evening.
It's far.
Don't you fear?
Faith.
No doubt your faith will prevail, but let me give you some extra protection against the devil's work. Medicine.
Blessed be your...
Have you recent news of Nurse Crane and her dispensary?
If you propagate the devil's work, you'll perish by the...
I have heard an...
I should never have taken up my father's business.
You never... Goodbye.
buying something?
You never... Do you need...
To be honest,
I don't quite...
really?
Do you have any...
It appears...
What do you know of Harry Peterson?
Harry's a good boy, but he's...
What troubles him?
Well, despite being his father's son.
Goodbye.
Pay me a glass and I'll be generous. Pay me a bottle and
Watch yourselves! There's one of them!
Remorse and pain are precious when binding you to the earth. You. I remember you. Fear be gone. I would harm no child of my making.
This is your doing. You made me. Made me this creature. What are you?
I am the land. You are our champion.
You selected me. Chose me.
As shall my children yet to come.
What is it you seek?
This age is sickly. An ancient poison, an older rage, brewed in a cauldron newly forged.
This has something to do with the epidemic.
Seek truth, my champion. Defeat the serpent of knowing with iron spur.
I've had enough of others making decisions for me, pretending to know how I should feel or behave. So the vampire who made me is some sort of disembodied entity? Or was he just projecting this vision in my mind? Maybe Edgar can help me with this one.
Are you all right, Miss Shun?
My name is Xiao Shun. This is the proper way to address someone in my country.
I do apologize, Xiao Shun. Are you all right?
Yes, I am. This is the only place where I can find some kind of serenity. Some way to remember my dear Matthew.
How do you feel? Physically speaking, I mean.
I don't feel good, Dr. Reed. Not at all.
You should recover quickly after taking this.
Thank you, Doctor.
Have you recent news of Nurse Crane and her dispensary?
I heard that she used to help the refugees, but unfortunately you don't see her around anymore.
You realize you can't stay here forever, don't you? Eventually you'll have to leave the cemetery.
Why? Why should I go? Since this is the only place I can find peace of mind.
To be honest, I don't know. Please forgive me if I've upset you. We must all honor our departed loved ones in our own way.
You sound like you're no stranger to the pain I feel.
Let's just say, I too have a good reason to visit cemeteries at night.
Please accept my condolences for your loss then, Dr. Reed.
Are you on your own? Do you have any friends or family who you could be with?
I have family and friends, but I need to be here alone. One day maybe I'll go back to them, but not now. I need silence, and I need sadness.
Sadness can be a terrible trap. It can entangle you and weaken your heart if you let it control your thoughts.
Thank you for your sincere words, Dr. Reed. I sense you trying to help me, even if I don't quite understand why.
Tell me how your husband died, Xiao Shun.
Matthew died of the Spanish flu, like so many others.
At this time, there is so...
The worst thing...
Did he hide his condition from you? No. The Spanish flu, maybe...
You don't understand. I didn't know he was so sick. I didn't realize the gravity of his situation until it was too late.
As harsh as this sounds, we are all equally vulnerable to this awful disease.
I never said goodbye.
Are you a doctor yourself? Is this why you feel so guilty for not saving your sick husband?
No, I am not. But I still need to blame someone for Matthew's death. And who else, if not his wife, who did not see it coming?
I'm a physician. One of the best in the country. But I was unable to save my own sister, Mary. She died in my arms.
Why tell me this? Is it supposed to make me feel better?
No. But I felt I should share it with you, since she is buried here too.
May I ask what caused the death of your sister?
You could say she was also killed by a terrible disease. A disease I have sworn to fight and cure, no matter how long it takes.
Thank you for sharing that with me, Dr. Reed. Maybe it's time we start to rebuild our lives, you and I.
You should go home now.
I think you're right. Cemeteries are for the dead, for they need silence too. Thank you for your honesty and your wisdom, Dr. Reed.
Thank you for your company, Xiaoshun. Take care on the way home.
Maybe I'll see you again in Whitechapel. Goodbye for now.
Goodbye for now.
Matthew. The world has gone completely mad.
How are you, boy?
I'm not your...
Do you need assistance?
Please. Feeling tired these days.
There you go. Let's hope nobody steals it from you.
Very funny.
Have you heard anything?
Never heard of her.
Goodbye, young. Good evening.
I'm afraid not, mister.
Have you...
Not recent.
A gun?
Its effectiveness has been proven by men. Even the flu is no match for the Swanborough cordial.
Good.
You look ill, Miss Swanborough. I wonder if your concoction will do the trick. Well, there you have it. Take this remedy, but be discreet. It may damage your business otherwise.
Thank you.
Have you any news on...
It seems her dispensary isn't so big.
Goodbye.
Cheap price, good quality. Come on, take a look. Don't be afraid.
You... Goodbye.
You...
Can I offer you?
Keep you...
There is a...
All right.
Goodbye.
Joe, please, I don't have your money.
Come on, Barry.
I can't believe I'm doing this.
Bloody joke to you, innit?
How are you?
I'm not your boy, all right?
Someday you'll understand. You've wasted your life.
Disappear someday.
Good evening, Jean.
Wang Shanghao, Dr. Reed. It's good to see you again.
How do you feel now that you're back in Whitechapel? Do be careful. These streets can be as dangerous as that terrible place where we first met.
That's true.
Do you still
Of course.
I know.
Maybe.
What are you doing?
I've just...
That...
I've no... I am...
What?
I thought...
Why?
I am a...
Goodbye.
The flower's dying. It needs water.
God protect us. You've got a leech in the hospital.
Yes, my hospital. My mission is to heal while you go about warring.
You've set the table for a snake. I wonder why there's venom in your food.
I'm growing tired of your song. You're a woodsman, McCullum, not a doctor. Return to your hunt.
Remember, I've a good nose for machinations. I can flare the scent at a mile. You can't hide from the God.
Leave him, Jonathan. This is sacred ground. Neutral territory. And I just had the carpet cleaned. By the sacred stole, this is very bad news. Bad news indeed.
What happened?
The hospital has been attacked. We have injured patients, at least one dead and several missing. This has spiraled out of control. Even the most infirm are asking to be allowed to return home.
Are you worried about the situation or your reputation? Now is not the time to think of oneself.
Of course, you're right. But we cannot afford a public scandal. It would ruin us. We must restore order, and quickly.
You mentioned a dead patient. Who is he?
She, Jonathan. She was Miss Harriet Jones. I found her room like a slaughterhouse. Blood everywhere. The duty nurse is taking care of the mess.
Very well. I'll help you.
Jonathan, please. I can't rely on anyone else. And this concerns you as it involves vampires. Someone has taken advantage of our more liberal tendencies here.
In what way?
Jonathan, I may turn my head when you or her ladyship indulge, but I will not allow this place to become a nest for street feeders.
Please then, tell me.
Sean Hampton, the man we thought we'd saved at the docks. It seems he was infected after all.
So Hampton became more beast than man.
Exactly. And now Guard of Prewen suspects the hospital of vampire activity. Do you realize what that could mean for us?
Rest assured, I will protect you and your staff.
McCullum is a fanatic. The Guard will stop at nothing. You don't know what they're capable of, Jonathan.
Very well. Since I brought Mr. Hampton here, I will put an end to this.
Sean Hampton lives and breathes for the well-being of his flock. There's no other place he would go but the docks. Good evening, sir. I am Dr. Jonathan Reed of the Pembroke Hospital. May I be of assistance?
Dr. Reed. So it's you who saved my friend Oswald. It's a pleasure to meet you, sir.
And you are?
Newton Blight. Oswald and I recently returned from the war.
Do you need medical attention, sir?
Afraid so.
Throughout history, some diseases have done more damage to armies than any weapon created by man. You were wise to be careful.
You're working at the Pembroke Hospital, aren't you? That's a good enough reason for me and Oswald to go there.
You are always well.
I'm not giving.
Perhaps.
Could you?
Why do you?
It's complicated.
Can you?
Rats.
What?
War was.
Did you know?
No.
Yeah. What caused your phobia of rats, Newton?
It happened last year following an artillery attack. I was trapped for 2 days in a hole under 2 dead soldiers. And there were rats.
Go on.
They started eating me as soon as I dozed. Gnawing at my ears, with fingers, lips. I couldn't move.
I see.
No, you don't.
Goodbye, Mr. Blight. Take care of yourself. Hello again.
Yes.
Mr. Thacker.
No.
I understand.
No.
Why would... Tell me... What?
Newton.
Oswald, why did you not go to the Pembroke Hospital to seek medical help?
I don't trust doctors. All they care about was their careers and progress.
Your fear of being trapped.
I've seen enough.
Do you want to talk about...
No.
An irrational...
Well, Dr. Tech...
When I rescued you, you expressed joy at seeing the sky again. So I'm inclined to believe you were trapped or buried somehow. Maybe during the shelling.
Jeez, you're good, Doc. You're really good.
Go on, please. Tell me more about it.
Newton and I were trapped in a circulation tunnel after an artillery attack. We were buried alive for several days, without ever knowing if we'd be found.
Oswald, tell me about what happened when you were buried in that tunnel with Newton.
It was more than dark. It was black as pitch. Hours seemed like days, and days like months. The terror, the shameful thoughts. Lord have mercy.
Shameful thoughts. Tell me about them.
At some point, I don't remember which day, but when I thought we'd never be rescued, that this would be our end, I thought about...
Say it, Mr. Thatcher. If you ever want to heal, you have to say it.
I thought about what I could do to survive. Just for a few more days. thought about killing Newton. Killing and eating him. The man I fucking love.
What you endured...
It did not.
Tell me about your...
I love him. I'm not ashamed to say it. He's the best thing that ever happened to me. I can't imagine life without him.
Why should you be ashamed?
I'm not, I said. But Newton sees it differently.
I admire your honesty. It takes courage to stand up to society. The world needs people like you to create change.
Courage is what we needed in the trenches, looking death in the face every day. I speak plain. I speak my mind.
Have you always been this straightforward?
All I know is, before you saved me by the sewer, my only regret was I wouldn't be able to hold or kiss Newton again. I love him, that's all.
Goodbye. Hello again, Mr.
Good evening, Doc.
How do you feel about Oswald Thatcher? You are more than friends, aren't you?
I love him. I love Oswald. We knew we wouldn't survive the war without each other. But I am terrified, Doctor.
What frightens you so much?
What if people find out? Oswald says I'm ashamed, but it ain't that. It's more, well... You know... Never thought I'd love a man.
Enjoy your love. And enjoy life as long as you can, Mr. Blight. Don't let anyone tell you who you should love or how you should love them.
I appreciate your kind words, sir. But it ain't that easy. It's all so new to me.
You and Oswald were buried alive during the war. Tell me about it.
Yeah. It was last...
How did you...
Luckily for us, there were rations and water in the tunnel. It was an outpost, see? Since then, Oswald's not keen on being inside for too long.
Oswald seemed far more traumatized than you by the event.
It wasn't the first time it...
Goodbye, Mr. Good evening.
Evening, Doc.
Newton is conflicted about his feelings towards you. Would you like to talk about it, Oswald?
It makes me sad and angry. It feels like the beautiful thing we have is somehow tainted. It hurts to see him so lost.
His love for you is genuine. I'm certain he wasn't lying to me when he expressed his feelings for you.
Newton still has to accept it. No. This city is more peaceful without the bombs, but no less dangerous.
So many rats in the streets.
extorted, stole. Now I'll die. Fuck it. I'll live the way I wanted.
Good evening.
I'm okay.
This hospital seems to be falling apart, but in the circumstances, I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt.
I don't feel the peace I was looking for. Mother, were you right all along? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening.
What can you tell me about the...
Everybody's afraid. Death has always been...
As a nurse at this hospital, it is your duty to deal with these things as best you can.
Yeah. Until it's my turn to have blood spread all...
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins. Good evening.
Good evening.
Do you need med...
I'm afraid...
Not under...
Thank you.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening.
Do you need my medical? I will... Can you tell me anything about...
I'm sure it was not your fault.
My fault?
Oh, nothing. It's just... I heard it was you who brought the murderer inside our walls. But you couldn't know, could you?
Goodbye.
Oh,
Would you care to partake in this meal with me?
Jonathan, how could you say such a thing?
Forgive me if I feel despondent. For there seems to be no end to the suffering and death that surrounds us.
I'm always here for you, Jonathan.
What do you know of Ascalon? I was threatened by a...
What more can you...
He was big...
Ferg.
What is?
The Ascalon Club are the most powerful vampires in Britain and exert tremendous influence. Take my...
Have you embraced this woman, like the other patient, this Miss...
Her name was Amelia. And no, I did not kill her.
Is there sufficient vitality in the blood of...
Yes, John.
Temptation?
Over the...
I have
Now that's...
Is this...
I don't have...
Aunt...
Very little scares me, my dear.
Thank you.
They are criminals who treat you at Pembroke. This hospital is a danger to its patients. Do not entrust these people
Good
with
evening,
your
Mrs.
life.
Goswick. How are you feeling?
Spare me your false compassion. It won't change all the bad publicity I intend to shine upon this toxic place. I knew this place was bad from the start.
Do you require medical attention as well, Miss...
Do you know you're the only one who's asked me this?
Despite what...
Well, at least your reputation seems well deserved.
You aren't going to stay here forever, Mrs. Goswick.
I'll stay as long as I want to, sir. I'm rich. Very rich. And I intend to spend all my money...
I found your son's suicide note, Beatrice. Maybe you'd like to read it.
Stop torturing me, Dr. Reed.
I just wanted you to know...
I am going to tell...
Stop threatening me. Don't you realize doctors and hospitals are the last hope of this city?
You are heartless, Dr. Reed.
What do you mean by a toxic place?
I hold you responsible, sir. You and everyone else in this shameful hospital. I was a fool to bring my Mortimer here. A fool.
A fool?
He tried to kill himself.
Why hide his suicidal tendencies?
Mortimer was already so fragile.
That he died?
Violently murdered.
What can you...
It's a disgrace.
Goodbye. It seems the Priwen are redoubling their patrols in the district. I must be more careful.
Fear no evil! We do the Lord's work here!
Oh God,
Oh my God!
Steady, boys! We've got one of them here! Watch it! It's a killer! Best turn around. There's one of them! Watch yourselves! Watch it! I'll take it. No! Murdering bastard! Kill it! He's dead! Bloody leech!
Do with the wet boots, are they? Someone's playing a right strange game, and I'm gonna find out who.
Good evening, Miss Cox.
Hello again, Dr. Reed. What do you want?
Tell me your feelings about Booth's belief in monsters, Edwina.
It makes him look weak in front of the boys. That's my feeling about it. But ghosts don't scare me.
You don't believe he really saw something, then?
I don't care what he saw or not. All I know is that a real man keeps his fears to himself if he wants to be obeyed.
You still use your husband's name, Edwina. Why is that?
Why shouldn't I? He may be a bloody bastard, but I'm still his wife and his name means something round here.
Are you aware of what happened to him?
Yes. I'm sure he fought till the end and looked death in the eyes. The boys will mourn him. Except one of them, maybe.
I'm looking for Mr. Sean Hampton. Do you know where I could find him?
The sad saint? I heard he was mugged or something.
Yes, he was. But he left hospital recently.
You don't say. Well, I suppose it's good news for the homeless and the useless. Ask them, they must know something.
Goodbye, Miss Cox. Good evening, Miss Cox.
Hello again.
Can I see...
As long as you...
You again.
Do you know...
The sad saint.
He was one of...
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Mark my words, miss. These murders are the work of a vampire.
Not a drop of blood left in his body. This is the work of a vampire.
I'm a tracker of these creatures. A vampire hunter.
You best be off to your hunting then. For if the sewer dog is back and hunting all these poor folk, he needs a catching.
A sewer dog? What's it look like?
It's an old story. A monster with daggers for teeth and icy claws. He comes of a sudden, nighttime, claiming innocence, then vanishes.
Teeth, claws, murders by night? Your sewer dog is my business. He's the kind of prey I hunt, milady. Good evening, sir. Have you witnessed any
And what do you define as a strange event?
My name is Ichabod Throgmorton, vampire hunter extraordinaire and warden of the East End.
A vampire hunter? Really?
I know what you're thinking.
Mr. Throgmorton, I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
A man of science.
Have you heard of the Guard of Priwen?
Of course. They're dedicated...
were you?
I did.
So you hunt
vampire.
So,
I patrol.
Can I? Are you on?
If you.
How do you identify a
It's simple, really. They can't stand daylight. They're afraid of garlic and holy symbols. They also cannot enter a house without being invited.
Have you ever killed one of these?
Of course I have.
What can you tell?
Did you hear?
But
it's my.
What can you?
Did you hear?
But
it's my.
So
I patrol.
How do you identify?
It's simple.
Have you ever?
Of course I have. What kind of question is that? It's a dirty business, believe me.
Can I help?
Actually, yes. I plan to put up posters.
Are you asking me to paste posters about vampires around the docks?
If you wouldn't...
I'm looking for Sean Hampton.
The sad saint? He should be at his night asylum at this hour.
Really?
It's nothing.
I could make you tell me, but I respect your refusal.
All I will...
Maybe at least you can tell me who...
Tell you what, go and chat with Tom Watts. He's a bartender and good judge of character.
Goodbye.
I should just run as far away from this place as I can.
Not long ago, this sort of mess
Welcome.
was giving me a laugh.
Do you need Indeed, it would be a shame to taint the delicate taste.
Oh, thank you, Dr.
How is it?
Well, since...
I see. Since I'm...
Perhaps, Doctor.
How could a physician... Doctors aren't in...
Oh, thank you.
You're something of a figurehead.
I'm only put...
What can you...
It's not...
Who? Tom?
I heard the sad saint.
I believe he...
Oh, I bet...
Please.
Well, I don't know.
The important thing is I find him. Quick. Where is it? The Where is it?
It's in an old warehouse, northwest of here. Just follow the bank to the west and go north when you reach the end of the pier.
Goodbye. Evening, miss.
Well, I never. That's a first. Customers who make that much money.
I'm much more myself.
Welcome back.
Do you require...
Don't feel...
Take this. It'll help.
Tom...
What can you tell
people?
You look...
This is a...
If you're uncertain about your safety here, the docks might...
I got responsibility.
This place...
We get people...
Your boss...
Yeah.
So that...
Yeah.
Miss Cavendish, would you be willing to help me locate Sean Hampton?
You better ask Tom's.
Why not aunt?
We respect the privacy.
Goodbye, Miss Cavendish.
Not long ago, this mess was giving me a laugh.
Times like these, a good drink's just as likely.
This is despicable.
Another disgusting ghoul did it, don't you think?
Seems like the Guard of Frewen is on Sean Hampton's trail, too. The wounds on this corpse are deep, the result of rabid rage. If this is Sean's doing, he's become a murderous beast.
Filthy piece of shit! Murdering bastard! Christ! He's dead!
Easy does it, boys. We can deal with this bird. Bloody leech!
Let's turn around if I were you. Step away. Die, Merlin! Christ, he's dead!
I have this thirst for blood. Good evening, miss.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. May I have your attention for a minute?
Good evening, sir. My name is Giselle Paxton, but I don't have time for men like you.
Have we met before?
No, but I just need to look at your fancy clothes to know that you must be desperate to visit the docks at night.
That's quite judgmental of you.
Sir, I've led enough strikes when I had a job to identify you as an enemy of the working class.
You speak of strikes and class enemy. Am I right to assume you're involved in trade union activism?
You better.
You lost
those.
Is
a few.
What really happened? May I ask?
I'm kidding.
Why?
Course up.
As a. What?
Tell you what.
You don't. Oh no, Miss Paxton, you really don't know my kind. You have no idea who I am.
All right. Okay.
If you have some...
Oh.
I'm looking for Sean Hampton.
What is it you want? Does he owe you money? Has he displeased Your Royal Highness? I'm no snitch, Mr. Fancy Pants.
Well? Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Can I help you?
A fancy doctor lurking at night.
And what about you?
You want...
Is it...
As long as...
What?
It's just... Mr...
What?
It may... Well,
lads...
it...
You...
No.
I'm looking for
Mr. Hampton must be in his office at the night asylum.
He was a patient of mine at the Pembroke...
I see. Well, Mr. Hampton...
Goodbye, Miss...
I know I promised you I'd make everything right, Mum. But it's not been that simple.
It's locked, all right.
Why the long face, Doctor?
It looks like we both have changed a lot. I must confess, it saddens me, Sean.
Put your faith in the Lord, Doctor. He has a plan for all of us. We may not always see it, but he does.
Since you left Pembroke, the amount of blood that has been shed, it's hard to believe you, Sean.
Ask what you will.
Why return?
This is my home.
Wonders never cease.
And what of...
And what about...
Alas.
Aren't you afraid?
We are... If that is...
But you...
No, not...
Why did you kill Miss Jones at the Pembroke Hospital?
Killed old Harriet? You must be mad, Doctor. Why would I do so...
But you were close.
Of course.
So you
Though hard...
People have been murdered. I've seen the blood. I don't believe you can be trusted.
Have a little faith, Doctor. If you will follow, I will guide you to the light.
How do you plan to do that?
Take this key of the old sewers. The entrance is by the riverbank, south from here. There you'll find all the proof you need.
I have to see for myself. But your sense of purpose and calm gives me some relief.
I'll be here when you return. If you still think I'm a threat then, well, I'll surrender myself to your judgment.
You again? What do you...
Well, I'll leave...
While you're lot slurping soup before bed.
Once the epidemic has passed.
Good evening, Miss...
Dr. Reed!
You've never faced, let alone killed, a vampire, Ichabod. You're a fraud.
No, I'm not. I may embellish the truth concerning my achievements, but I'm totally dedicated to my quest.
Stop fooling yourself. You've never faced a vampire before. You wouldn't stand a chance.
Well, that's not true, sir. I've already faced one of these creatures.
Oh, really? And you're still alive.
Well, we did not actually fight. I let it go.
What do you mean?
I entered the vampire's den. The stench was terrible. I was ready to kill it. But then I saw it. Just a suffering soul like you and me. I spared her.
Tell me about the vampire you spared.
It was... She was a girl. Her body was a mess. I could see pus running from the deep wound. She was crying in pain.
You cared about her. That's what defines us as human, Ichabod.
Yes, but she was a truly evil creature. I'm haunted by the tragedies she caused ever since I spared her.
Goodbye.
boots shouldn't be fighting each other. They've got bigger problems elsewhere.
Stop the killer!
The beast must die! Lord, give us strength! We can't be defeated! Demon, back! Roll back to the hell that spawned you!
This could be the public house Giselle Paxton mentioned. I should investigate further. That doesn't work. So that's it. These wheels control the water level. Should shut properly now.
That doesn't work. I can't believe I'm doing this.
These maggots have escaped the wrath of Ascalon for too long. It is time to purge the sewers of their filth.
You again! The one they call the sewer dog.
Hold your tongue, newborn, or I'll crush you like a maggot.
You've let the beast consume you.
Finally! A touch of lucidity. You shall learn to respect the laws of Ascalon! I shall...
At least one Skal escaped Fergal's wrath. How could he have made it this far? There's blood everywhere.
Safe we are, still. Drink now.
Bless you, Bridget.
This isn't the blood of a vampire, but it will quench your thirst. This is our domain, not yours. You've been warned.
Wait, I saved you from this creature. That must count for something.
Thank you. Now go. Go back to the streets and houses. There is no love lost between us, vampire. But thank you.
Sean Hampton sent me here. I believe he wanted me to find you. Who are you?
If you must know, they call me Old Bridget. And this shelter is where we live.
I'm Jonathan Reed. I'm a newborn Ekon. I'm afraid I'm not sure what's going on.
I shall not bend a knee, young Ekon. But I sense your pain. Ask, and I will afford you my attention.
Why was that creature?
Fergal.
What the hell?
They are...
What of...
vampire.
So is it you?
Perhaps.
Sean is a Skal. All those I've encountered have...
Maybe because he...
Sean...
If you refer...
Harriet...
No.
I don't...
She is...
Thank you.
Eternal gratitude for your protection, Master. Old Bridget says you are one to trust. Keep your distance, Echo!
Hello, Harriet. Do you recognize me?
Yes, you were from the Pembroke Hospital. The young doctor. So full of secrets.
I've so many questions I need to ask you, Harriet. If you would.
I love...
Why did you...
And why not... Bridget...
So...
Yeah.
Does...
It is not...
Have you...
People here. Just...
What?
No.
I have a question.
Questions.
Do you remember...
First...
Very well. No, I'm not, Harriet. I've no taste for revenge, nor do I enjoy the suffering of others.
I
know...
I will not...
You saw... Who...
The shadows.
And these... What makes...
It...
Questions...
Nothing.
Have you found the answers you were looking for, young Ekon?
There is too much left unanswered. So many questions.
Get to know us. Spend time with us. And I may be willing to answer more questions.
For how long?
Skull.
Where did you...
We claim... true.
You will...
It is a...
Can I...
We... Live...
Why...
We... From... I read what a
You...
Your cut...
Thank you. It's locked, all right.
How is London? I've not seen beyond these walls.
It's locked.
Welcome back, Dr. Reed. Would you like to take communion with me now?
Sean, are you eating raw flesh?
It is the sacred flesh of the mortal lamb. Our Lord's bountiful transmutation for the sustenance of his believers. Thank you, Lord. I am your most humble servant.
So, true to your word, you waited for my return.
I told you, Dr. Reed, I was a man to be trusted. Did you have words with the poor Harriet?
You make no distinction between the living and the Skulls, do you?
We are God's children, Dr. Reed, one and all, and he's determined to save us.
What will be the result if you continue to assist both Skulls and the living?
For the last decade, that's what's been happening. And they found a better life. What's to change?
You've turned Skal now. Don't you see the danger to anyone giving you their trust?
We are all sinners, awaiting salvation. This is a simple truth, ordained by the Lord Almighty. I am a seeker of his glorious light.
You're forgetting the epidemic. Things can go south very quickly. I've seen it.
Oh, these are terrible times. Only those pure of heart shall prevail.
Does this place belong to you? How can you be so...
This warehouse...
So...
Not...
Harriet. Who is this? Harriet is...
She has...
I believe I've learned all I need to know. I'm certain you've killed no one, but one day, I believe you'll cross the line.
Logic is a false prophet. Faith is the only path to salvation.
What do you mean?
We have been blessed with God's eternity. We are the instruments of his divine will. We shall feed the hungry forever and ever. Amen.
I haven't the luxury of being able to satisfy my hunger on staunch blood and lifeless flesh.
Give yourself over to God, Doctor. Expel your urges and kneel before the Lord in praise.
These urges... You know the hunger will never be satisfied.
I've come to embrace the everlasting craving. I have sworn to feed only upon the flesh of the dead. It is now my sacrament. Take, eat. This is my body. So saith the Lord.
I really would like to believe your fairy tale. The good ghoul feeding upon the flesh of the dead. But I'm all out of innocence.
Do you question my fate, Dr. Reed?
Do you remember William? Oh, how his admiration for you was exceeded only by his hunger.
May his soul rest in peace.
A night will come, and you will suffer the same hunger. Someone who trusts you completely, a friend, will die never to wake.
You confuse your voracious appetite with my itchy hunger. I would never kill a friend, nor an innocent.
I believe you've discovered our defining difference.
No! No! I can't!
Another corpse thrown in the streets. Someone's playing a very sick game.
Good evening, Miss...
Dr. Reed!
Did you see what happened to him?
Actually...
Why is it that you...
You didn't see it.
Who?
Who?
Goodbye.
I know this brooch. This is my mother's. A birthday gift from father. "29 Pretty Orchard Street. That's near Poplars District. Why would this man carry off my mother's brooch? I must go there.
Glad to see you.
Did you see what happened? You saw
No.
A woman.
Of course.
Goodbye.
Glad.
Goodbye, Miss.
You again?
Did you see what...
No, I didn't.
Really?
Because the...
Well, I'll...
Christ! He's dead! is mine! There's one of them vermin! Crush the leech, boys!
Rufus!
Leave me be-
Rufus, come.
No!
What are you...
They're all...
Do you need help?
A real dog...
A real...
I don't know.
Heard anything about...
Not since he bought it.
Tell me everything you can.
Seymour...
Did you do... Seymour won't touch you. I swear.
He will not forgive...
You really loved me.
Yes, I did. She was like a mother to me.
I'm sure...
Won't...
So long. Perhaps I should... Welcome. Do you need... Goodbye, Mr. Watts. Welcome. Have you got...
Have you not heard? A sad saint has been murdered.
Goodbye.
He didn't...
Perhaps I should shut the turquoise for a time.
Everyone's throwing the blame.
Good.
Hello again.
Have you got...
The murderer is still unknown. All I know is that the Wet Boot Boys have nothing to do with this. Pleasure, sir. Been a while since we've seen any new faces.